Oh, bummers. Oh, well. I guess there's no intro music today, folks. So let's just welcome our guest all the way from Coachella, California. Man, I like my music and shit. It just feels, I feel naked without my music. Like there's, like, I just, my son really did us in today, folks. Everybody, put your hands together for Mosaic! There they are, everybody.
What's going
How's it
on?
going,
Hey,
man?
hey, hey. I'm sorry there wasn't more to it. Usually we have hand claps going on. Oh, thank you, Mighty Mighty.
There it is.
There they go. There they go. Thank you, Mighty Mighty, for the hand claps. No, my sample pad is down, so unfortunately we didn't have an intro or anything. Oh God.
Good, man.
All good.
No, well,
Hey, we do have to ask them, man. Is it any mistake that it happens to be Fat Boy Fall? Is that the setup we get, man?
Oh no, it ain't like that, man. It's a
Fat
running.
Boy Fall. Let's hear it from Mosaic, everybody.
Yo, I'm with you, homie. It's like, look at this. This is I grew.
Speaking of which,
I grew this.
Oh, yeah.
I grew
bro.
this
Get in
thing.
there, bro.
Get in there.
oh, man.
No, man. It's a running theme here.
No, I'm just messing with
I would not fat shame my guest. Only myself will I fat shame.
you. We had plenty of that already.
Well, someone's got to do it. Gosh darn it.
Man.
I feel like if I'm not fat shaming myself, then I'm just never gonna do anything about like losing the weight. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I know like that's a whole thing now. It's like don't fat shame anybody, but it's like I don't know, man.
And we do it ourselves, man. That shit don't work, by the way. Obviously.
So
Right.
it hasn't worked yet. So.
No. It's like stop eating the pie, you fat ass. And I'm okay. I'm not gonna stop. I guess I'm just gonna keep eating my fat ass.
Let it go to waste, man.
Yeah, well, that's how that's how I was raised, man. I was raised as like you finish all the food on your plate, you take it, you eat it, and
Yeah,
so and there was no throwing shit away. So it's like you better sit there, eat that whole plate of food. It's like all right. And then you just learn to sort of stuff it all in and keep going, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, what would you have like a favorite time of the day to eat? Like, is there a favorite time?
Yeah, now. No, I'm just kidding.
Right now, anytime,
Anytime, bro, anytime.
go. But
Nah,
I don't know.
probably like at midnight when we're alone, just
Yeah.
crying.
Usually too late.
Yeah,
Not really. That's the problem, I think.
yeah. It's like anytime's good to eat, right?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I feel it, man. It's like I tried to. I tried to keep it like I do an intermittent fasting. Have you guys ever heard of intermittent fasting?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
It's cool, but you know, like in the morning, I'm starving, and then you know, last time, so I'll eat between 12 and 7. And
in
then
our window, right?
yeah, so I got that little window to eat. I'll go all in. I'll just, you know, I'll do whatever I gotta do in that time, and then it's over. But then by like 10 o'clock, your stomach's like, and you're just like,
Yeah.
damn it. No, I think
You know, I did that for a bit,
Yeah?
and it started to freaking work.
Yeah,
And then I was
it's hard to
but-
do
but-
at first.
Yeah, man. But you eat like a freaking stalk of broccoli, and that shit's like the best thing you've ever had in your life. Because you're just hungry, you know.
yeah.
So, but we got to get back. Actually, we're gonna do that as part of our we have a YouTube channel now.
Okay.
We're gonna kind of chronicle
So,
us
yeah.
Working out and stuff.
Little weight-
It might
weight
only
loss
be
journey.
like 2 episodes, but that's no. I'm just kidding.
Wait, this is-
Nah, but we're gonna do that, man, because obviously need to lose some weight.
Yeah, we gotta
That-
do something.
That's cool, man. That's cool because it's like it kind of holds you accountable, right? Like,
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Definitely.
hey, Cartagena, what's up, baby? Welcome in. Yeah, man. It's like that accountability is everything for me. It's like if I'm not holding myself accountable, or if no one's holding me accountable, I'm just doing whatever I want. It's like
yeah.
the best thing I could have did was get locked down by my wife, because otherwise I would have just been running around in circles doing the same dumb shit all the time. So it's like, So at least I found someone who was like, hey, you know, there's an other way to do things in life other than like smashing into brick walls all the time. You can
exactly.
you can do other stuff with you.
Yeah,
Hey, Zeke Keeley, thank you so much for that follow. And of course, Zeke Keeley is an amazing reggae band out of Arizona. The
our
homies,
boys, man.
Yeah.
big love to those cats. They've been on the show before, and just nothing but love for those fellas holding
Yeah,
it
man.
down for that desert reggae.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Would you guys know something about desert reggae, right?
A little bit, yeah.
What is desert reggae? I saw it thrown around in association to you guys. So what is desert reggae?
Yeah, well, we got hit with that in a podcast we did was it last week or a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And honestly, we don't know, man. I think it's just born of our own. And the short answer, I think it's just kind of it comes out, and maybe it's probably the experience out here, being a little bit more isolated and desolate and stuff, and it comes through in the music, you know.
Right.
But I don't know that you can necessarily pinpoint one unique sound or style, because we have about five or six bands, and there's always some that are coming out of the woodwork, which is awesome from here, anyways, from Coachella Valley, and we all kind of sound a little bit different, there's I think about 3 or 4 of us are roots bands, and then just different incarnations of that. We have a lot of R&B and other elements that go on top of our music, but I don't know, it's hard to pinpoint it, man, to say exactly what desert reggae is, but
well, I just heard it. I just heard it thrown around, so I was like, you know what? Well, I'll ask him. But no, honestly, I hear a lot more like Islander reggae than that, because like you're saying, that R&B influence is huge.
Yeah,
especially. And who's the main vocalist? Is it you, Mark?
Yeah.
Okay. Man, you got a big voice, man. Like, did you like? I feel like you could do like mariachi. I feel like you could do that kind of stuff. Have you ever fucked with that?
Oh yeah.
Have you ever fucked with it?
I love mariachi music, corridos and stuff like that. So grew up listening to those, man.
Yeah, man, I came up on that, man. My mom's straight from Mexico, so like she brought all that with her, man.
Beautiful, man.
Oh yeah, it's that those large voices, like I love that, like very verbose sound.
Exactly.
It always makes me tear up. But I'm not saying that. Please go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, forgive me. If you break down the lyrics, man, they're beautiful,
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of love songs and stuff like that, but they're very truthful in their writing as well, and it's beautiful, man. You get some musicians that are mariachis, man. They are legit musicians.
Bad boys, man. Bad boys.
Yeah. And it's like a prideful thing with them, to be able to play any song. You give them a song and they can play it. But those guys are very well rehearsed, technical musicians. They're amazing.
Have you ever stepped into that realm at all? That role?
No, but I had family members that have been involved with them, and then I have friends of friends that are parts of different mariachis and stuff. And man, those if you get a legit mariachi, they're amazing.
I always get teary eyed anytime I start hearing them going huge. Like just when they start really going, like it just reminds me of my youth all the time. Moving Dutchman, thank you so much for that 9-month subscription. A baby is born here. A Twitch baby is born. Thank you so much for that sub, Moving Dutchman. Mexico. That's right. Viva la Mexico. That's right. Yeah, man. A Mexican baby. That's right. A half Mexican, half Dutch baby. We're in for it, folks. We're in for it. Actually, I don't know what it is. Here. This is my actual Mexican. So that I'm 38%. So I used to think I was half, but I'm only 38%. So there it is, everybody. And they make fun of me, but that's okay. I deserve it. So you guys, tell me about like how you guys sort of came together and started doing Mozaiq. How did this all sort of start?
Started with this guy, man. Back in
2013.
2013.
Yeah.
I joined a little bit later, man. I think 2015. But yeah, these guys had a good thing going, man. And I learned from a friend actually. He was in the group, bass player. he he hit me up, and these guys needed a new drummer, so I came in, and we've been trying to kill it since then, man.
Yeah.
You know.
Our lives changed for the better.
So
Yeah, it worked out. We started in 2013, and we've had several incarnations since then, man. But myself and Noel, as far as songwriting stuff, really fused together.
you guys
And
are the prime
yeah,
writers, and
kind of even when we had like a full band, because right now it's just myself and Noel,
Mhm.
and then we utilize a lot of hired guns
Mhm.
for our live performances. And we have a couple of local fellas here who are we use a lot, and they're amazing musicians.
Yeah,
But
killers, man.
for the most part, as far as Mosaic, you're looking at them,
yeah.
So we kind of galvanized uh, our uh, our connection through our songwriting, and that's pretty much most of what you hear. We have some other contributors for our EP, but all of our music from this point is all us.
That's awesome. And then so what I suppose more for Mark, when did you start realizing that this is something you wanted to pursue, is singing and making music?
Oh, so I probably about the mid to late '90s. I was in a. I've always sang since I was a kid, but never like out there. You know what I mean? And I didn't have the nerve to get out there and start something until I was already in my mid to late 20s.
Mm.
So it was in like the mid to late '90s, and I was in like a classic rock cover band.
Yeah.
From a bunch of fellows from work and stuff, and so we did that, got my feet wet with that and stuff, and then I went in briefly with a Spanish rock band, if you can believe that.
That's
And
tight.
then just life took over and stuff. I have 4 kids,
Ah.
and I was married at the time and stuff, and so life took over and stuff, and it would probably been about 10 years until I picked it up again. And then in about 2010, I started getting, the idea where I was kind of starting to research the idea of starting to put a band together myself,
Mhm.
an original band, and put in an ad on Craigslist, and started piecing our fellas together,
Mm.
and we kind of started formulating what the band was going to be about, and the kind of music and stuff like that, and it kind of just grew from there. But we really, I don't want to say took off, but we really started to hit our stride when Noel came on board in 2015, right?
Yeah.
What was it back in like 2010 that was like, I need to get back to singing and stuff?
Yeah, I had some personal tragedies and things like that we went through and stuff, and that's kind of what just kind of said, I'm just going to throw caution to the wind. It's one thing I wanted to use. I've always been strong in poetry and writing and stuff like that. I've always done that as a form of expression, but knew I wanted to sync it up with music, and so I felt that was the perfect timing. I had a lot of time on my hands at that time, and so I started formulating the idea for the band. And then it just so happened things opened up where around 2013 is when I started. I followed around a couple bands here locally, some reggae bands, and then I said, I'm just gonna go ahead and do my own thing, and started. It was that simple. Just started with a Craigslist ad. Found one fella, and together we went out and got the rest of our guys, man, and started to build from there.
Damn Craigslist. It's funny that Craigslist is like the start of so many bands,
Yeah,
It's
man.
like,
Yeah. Real.
it's
Yeah.
actually kind of how I met my wife, was like through a Craigslist ad that I went
wow.
to a band, and or no, I didn't meet them through Craigslist. She met them through Craigslist. I met them through a thing. Never mind. I'm just fucking full of shit. Don't listen to me. I just had to interject to talk about myself there for a second. It wasn't even
Oh,
real.
good, man.
So Noel, so are you you're the guitarist?
I'm the drummer.
You're the drummer. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why I got guitarist vibes. But so you're the drummer, and
Yeah.
now, do you how much of the writing are you involved in? And since you're a drummer, do you play other instruments where you write on them too, or is it just
Yeah.
how does that
Yeah. Like
work?
for the tracks, I usually record pretty much guitar, bass, drums, and keys, and then we get horns, a horn section to play on our songs. But yeah, for the most part, I kind of we both pretty much write everything, man.
He's a Mexican prince.
The Mexican Prince. He was on a
Good man.
mission from God, and Craigslist saved him a lot of mileage and gas money. Yes, indeed, Cartagena. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, man.
Uh, the I always do this. I always like, which my perspective has changed a lot over the years. Is that it's like anytime a drummer's like, I'm a drummer and I write the music, I'm just like, how does a drummer write music? Like how does this happen? I've changed my tune over the years because it's like I know a lot of drummers who compose music, and now it's like wow, it's actually I don't know where that came into my head. But is drums your primary instrument?
Yeah. That's my baby, man, for sure.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then Mark, so how do you guys write music then together? Is it like Noel comes with music and rhythms, and then Mark, you just write music over it, or I mean music or lyrics? Shit. How does it work? How do you guys sort of make that work as a
All
duo
of the
here?
above, man. We both contribute 100%, 100%, pretty much. It'll come different ways, but basically, the majority of the times, Noel. I mean, it starts with the beat, right?
Yeah.
And Noel will come with the beat. He has a garage band on his iPhone,
Mm.
and so he's pretty much mastered that, man. And so he'll come up and he'll show me like a beat that he has, and then sometimes it comes with a hook, sometimes not. Sometimes I'll write the hook, and then I have, man, books of lyrics. You know what I mean, and different things that I'm feeling, and all. Usually he'll come to me with something, and that's one way. He'll come to me with a beat or show it to me and send it to me, whatever. And then if I'm feeling it, we'll kind of ask each other what does it make us feel like, and then I'll either match some lyrics that I already have, or I'll write something, from scratch
Hmm.
at that point. And then the other way is we'll just sit there. Honestly, man, we'll have some some beers, and we'll sit in his garage or sit here in the studio, and with the guitar and see what we come up with. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it's everything. I mean, I'll come up with beats sometimes. By and large, he does it the majority of the time. But there's some, we have this song that we're working on right now. A couple there our next couple songs where just it was weird. I woke up in a dream, 3 o'clock in the morning, scratched it out, had the beat, got on my phone, just recorded it really quick what I had, and these two songs are gonna materialize as our next two singles.
What?
But
What?
but
Wait.
for our EP and stuff, the majority of it's just been, um, us kind of coming together. We write it together, and if he doesn't like something, we change that. We have no egos when we're doing it. You know what I mean? So if it's mosaic music, you know what I mean? So we write together beautifully, and I don't know, it's just always worked.
Hmm.
So but he'll come up sometimes even with some lyrics and stuff like that, and we'll go with that. I'll write out something, start singing it. He'll change the vocal melody on it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So we kind of commingle the two.
Yeah. That's great. I mean, to find a writing partner where where you don't hate them, this is
Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I'm sure, I don't know how many bands you guys been in now, but I've been in bands. It's like, man, as soon as that tension starts, it's really hard to come back from that.
Yeah, definitely,
And make
man.
a successful. Uh, wait, please tell me you're in the mature over 40 club. Are you guys in the mature over 40 club?
I
Cartagena must
I
be.
definite am. This guy
I'm
is
not.
is still working on that.
He's
Yeah,
Yeah.
working on it. I'm not
yeah.
here yet either. I'm not there yet either, Cartagena. I'm still a little
Lets me
shade.
know all the time too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's well over.
Shut up! I ain't well over, man.
Yo, the homie, I mean, That's the thing about music, man. It's really interesting is that you can kind of jump into it at any time in your life, and depending on how
Yeah,
motivated you are, it's like you can go with it or not.
yep,
Like I play in this band called Skank's Roots Project, and Skanky, who's the head guy and books and does all the stuff, and he's a spoken word poet, but he was like, I think he was like 40 when he decided to like start a band or something. So
oh,
like he was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna start a band, and then we played
yeah,
Cal Roots
Never
and
too
stuff. So
late, man.
yeah, it's never too late to get out there. It's just it's a weird balance though, like because you kind of referenced that earlier, Mark, about having children. You had 4 kids, so you had to sort of take a break
yeah, man.
from music is responsibility, man. So how is that balance for you guys? How does family and music, how does that balance? How do you guys keep that in line?
We're Mexican, man. So, and that I know that transcends a lot of cultures, but family's first, man.
Yeah.
No matter what,
Definitely.
and
Yep.
they're the inspiration behind a lot of our music. Really, you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Having that solid foundation.
Yeah.
We're fathers first. You know what I mean. He has still little ones.
Oh.
My youngest daughter just turned 18.
Oh wow.
So I'm actually a grandfather too. So
Oh
my
shit.
yeah, man. My oldest daughter. You know, I have 2 grandchildren.
Yeah.
Uh, so my grandson's about to be 6. So
Aw.
yeah, man.
So
Yeah, and
what's
so
what's that like, man? What's that like seeing like your baby have babies?
it's insane, man. It's very surreal.
It's
Yeah,
surreal.
it's
Yeah.
cool though, man. It's super cool. You know,
I
uh,
what
having grandkids, it's the greatest thing because you can have them for all the cool stuff, and then when they start acting up, you just give them back
Hell yeah, son. That's what I'm
back to
talking about.
your daughter, and
That's
that's it,
awesome.
man.
That's right. You spoil the shit out of them.
That's it, man.
Hand them back to him screaming. It's like, this is for all the times you were screaming at me,
Hey, that's true.
motherfucker.
Retribution is a real thing, man.
Yep.
It's like the thing about parenting is that it's like, it's the long game. Like I tell my son all the time, it's like, oh wait, motherfucker,
Just you wait.
wait, motherfucker, you don't
Yeah,
even know the
that's
damage that I could cause.
yeah,
Wait till your first girlfriend comes over and we talk about that shit you used to do.
100% true.
Wait
Yeah,
for it, son. I can't wait for that shit. No, his whole life I've been telling him, it's like, I can't wait for your motor skills to get better so you can start doing some fucking work around here, start washing dishes. I'm telling you, it took me a while to get used to the idea of having a kid because I was younger and I wasn't expecting it. But then when you start putting it all together, it's like, yo, this is like free work all the time. Like you got a free worker forever.
Oh man.
I-
just cut my nails by myself. What do you mean work?
Get out
Oh,
of here.
shit.
I'll just cut my nails by myself. Meh. Oh, shut up. No, it's like he's starting to be able to like take out the trash now and like cook for
Yeah.
himself. So now I'm just like, go fucking wash your own dishes. Go cook your own meal. Go take the fucking trash out. What are you doing? It's like get out there and be somebody. God damn it. I'm trying to sit here.
You know how to make cereal? Get out of here.
El Abuelo Mark Diaz.
That's me, man.
That's right. I'll
me.
loan
That's
you a
perfect.
kid.
Grams,
Oh hell
man.
no, we do
You
not.
gotta wear it.
Hey man, they're real Mexicans. Stop playing around with one kid. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Hey, for having 4, man, I'm telling you that we're behind the curves. My
That's-
parents both had 10 on one side and 11 on the other. That's being Mexican right
Damn.
there,
For
man.
real,
Yeah, man.
real. My mom's family, yeah. Like I think there was 12 of them.
Yeah, man. There you go.
They don't
Damn.
fuck around.
Hey, we do a lot of shit right, and we go big or go home, man. You know what I mean?
I feel it. We do a lot of shit right. We do it big.
We
Fortunately,
have TVs, man, so you got to make up for lost time.
yeah, exactly. It's like, what else are you gonna do? What else are you gonna do? I think Saucy just tried to punk you in front of your boys. You know what? It's fine. He has like missing teeth in his mouth. I'll just make fun of him when I get out of here. It's fine. Like, well, just settle down, Gummy. I was like, get out of here. It's like, what are you gonna do? Go pee your pants or something, weirdo? I don't know why I'm talking so much shit about myself. Daddy loves you, baby boy. Daddy loves you. You're my boy. Anyways, so yeah, I don't know. Like, So you said that you dreamed your one of your new songs. Do you do that often? Do you dream a lot of
No,
lyrics?
man. You
No.
know, that's the thing. You never know which direction it's going to come from, man.
Hmm.
Sometimes the good ones fall from the sky, so to speak. You know,
Yeah.
and that one was the weirdest thing. I mean, I think I even called him when I first had this one. We're working on this one. It's called Brain Child that we're working on right now and about to record it. And I don't know, man. It was weird. I woke up with like the hook. I knew exactly what I was going to say. I had the beat in my head, and I gave it to this dude, and we worked on it, and that's pretty much the mainstay of the song.
Do you remember what the dream was?
It's more of a hip hop kind of feel in this
Oh,
song.
dope.
Yeah, man.
What was the dream about?
Fuck, I don't know. I don't remember most of my dreams, man. But it was just about an idea. Basically, the song is about a conversation that you have with your own idea. And in our case, it's a song, you know. But for anybody that has an idea before they send it out into the world to see if it's going to do anything, you know, I mean, take anybody that has a great idea or an invention, if you will. And it's basically the song's about having a conversation with your invention before you send it out into the world. Yeah, that's what the lyrics are about.
I got you.
Yeah.
And so how do you have a conversation with your creations before you send it out into the world?
I get high and drunk, and then I'm just playing.
And then I straight up talk to that shit. I fucking love you, song.
No, I mean it's just basically talking about that process. You know what I mean?
Well, but what is your process that before you send a song out? Like, what do you do? How do you sit with it? How do you have that conversation besides getting drunk and smoking weed?
No, basically it's just, you know, because once you've recorded it, it belongs to everybody else. It belongs to the listener, and hopefully they're plentiful, you know. But we do everything that we can just to be truthful in our music, man. We're gonna make sure it comes from a real place, that we're not trying to, you know, adapt to what we think people want to hear, or what, you know. When you start writing that way, you're starting to lose it, man. You know, and people are smart; they can tell. You know what I mean? When you're being fake, we just, you know, we have to be the opposite of anything that's not real. You know, and so it's basically that process of just being truthful. What am I really feeling, and is that coming through in the song? You know, not only the lyrics but the music as well. You know.
Yeah.
That's a true representation of us. You know.
What about you, Noel? How do you process a song? How do you decide whether or not a song is good enough to even present to the world or to Mark?
Well, I never know if it's good enough, but just listening to it, man, like a million times, you know, and seeing what I can do with it, you know, build on it, you know, just that's basically my process. It's just like sometimes I'll just put headphones on and like take a nap, you know, and just play it on replay, you know, just to see if something pops up, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's basically it. Just kind of building off of it and make sure you don't put too much into it, you know?
Yeah.
And like Mark said, just let it flow naturally. You know what I mean?
At a certain point, you have to trust your gut, man. And I think, you know, most people, any type of artist in any medium, be it music or whatever, paintings, but whatever, you have to trust your gut, man. You know what I mean? And the choices that you make have to come from you, not what you anticipate people are going to think or say or whatever about it. It just got to be you, and put it out there and hope people dig it, you know.
Yeah, and
it's not always the case, but
we're always reminding ourselves too to make sure we stick to that, you know. It's hard to stray away from that.
Yeah. How do you like, you know, trusting your gut? I mean, I feel like that's something that you have to learn. Is that something that you guys had to learn over the years, and or is that something that you guys have just been into in regards to music? You know, in regards to how, you know, what you put out there is like, how do you build that trust with your own gut? I mean, because like, I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen it. You've seen like maybe a friend is like really jamming out to their song, and maybe it sounds like crap, maybe it sounds like underproduced, or it just sounds like a little off, but they're just like, this is the shit, and like this is the part that knocks, and you're just like, you know, obviously they have a trust issue with themselves because they're going by their gut and they're going by trust, but that's not necessarily the right direction, because it's like this is, it's not good, and there could be a million reasons why it's not good. But how do you build that trust to trust that you're going to come up with that right decision to that right, how do you build that trust and to trust your gut? Because you can people lie to themselves all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think the main thing is you never fully know, you know what I mean,
Mm.
how it's going to turn out. And that's the thing. If anything, you have to, if it makes any sense, you have to unlearn.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? You just got to kind of peel away the layers of all the BS, man, and just really listen to, some of our best stuff is stuff that we recorded just kind of on a whim, just screwing around. I mean, you get a guitar, start playing keys and start humming, and the best songs write themselves. You know what I'm saying? And if you can just be honest, and sometimes it's that thing that you don't quite understand what you need to say, but it's just coming out anyways.
Yeah.
We've learned to trust that,
Mm.
and it usually comes out pretty good, man. You try it out on each other and stuff, our family, or our circle of people that we trust, and then and it's like, is that any good? Do you dig that, or how are you feeling that? And then we kind of go, we don't always do that. Sometimes
Mm.
we just know,
Yeah.
but other times if we kind of have a question about, are you hearing the same thing that I'm hearing? And then we kind of go off of that. But it's really through the years we've learned to kind of reel that back a little bit, man. Like kind of unlearn
Yeah.
trying to think about and project what people are going to dig, and
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying when I say trust your gut. It's just like, he has some stuff that he put on a 24 track from years ago,
Mm.
Yeah.
and that's some of our best stuff. We've written songs off of some of those things that he just screwing around, but it was raw and it was real, man.
Yeah.
And you hear it and you know that shit, came from a real place,
Right.
and hopefully that translates to the listeners.
And I feel like the more we do this for, or want to do this for a living, like the harder it gets. You know what I mean? Like,
For sure.
to trust your gut. But
Yeah,
yeah, we constantly remind ourselves, man, to make sure we just do what we feel.
yeah,
Mm. No, I think you guys hit it on your head. I mean, like, 'cause that's what comes in my head. Like, the only way to really build that sort of trust, trusting your gut, so to say, is experience, is just experience, and failing and learning, and knowing what works, knowing how you work, knowing how you work with your music, knowing how you work with your bandmates. There's just so much that you sort of have to understand and learn. I mean, learning your craft, like how many people go out there and they learn 3 chords. They're like, I'm ready for the big stage, like, let's go. Which, more power to them, because there's a lot of people out there who do achieve cool things with knowing those 3 chords, like look at the Ramones, right? Like, they do 3 chords and they ripped it. They just
right,
ripped it.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, you don't have to be a genius, like a musical genius, to create, beautiful music, but you do have to sort of build this experience within yourself, this idea, this belief in yourself. And,
Yeah.
and I think believing and trusting in yourself is, they go hand in hand, because
Yeah.
if you don't believe in what you do, then no one else is, right? Like,
Yeah.
100%. And
Yeah.
that's the thing, man. Like, who knows if we're right? You got us in a point that we're still not fully out there yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not a lot of people know who we are. We're trying to get there, but we this whole thing could blow up in our face, man. But at least we will have been honest with our shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It would be
exactly.
real, and that's the
Absolutely.
most important thing with us. If we do that and fail, cool. You know what I mean? We were we're still gonna play the music that we're feeling that we write. We don't really limit ourselves as far as um, I mean, the foundation of our music is reggae music, and a very roots, rhythms and stuff like that. Our rhythm section is all, we have a skank. We usually put on a bubble, and then he'll usually do either one drop or an open snare, and then we use a lot of our own. I mean, we write all of our stuff. We don't borrow from anybody or
Mhm.
write like that. So, but that's the foundation of our music is roots
Mhm.
primarily, and then we bring other elements in. Again, R&B, hip hop, blues, jazz, whatever we're feeling at the time. That's what kind of separates our sound from the others. You know what I'm saying? So whatever we're feeling at that time, and if we dig it, we're gonna play it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we don't really kind of confine ourselves to have a particular sound per se.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
so
that's dope, man. That's dope that you guys keep things open like that.
yeah,
To keep things just and again that goes with experience, right? And trusting your gut and like over the years just knowing what works. I liked what you were saying about how you know like not overthinking it. And
yeah.
that's something that I've had to deal with in my creative process. You guys have any do you got any examples or do you got any moments that you guys can recall where you're overthinking it and then and like the answer was right in front of you and but it just wasn't hitting. Is there a song or is there a moment that you can think that might illuminate this idea a little more?
Yeah, our last single, we did that shit.
Big time, man.
We really
Thank
did.
you for
Yeah,
that host rate.
Yeah, we were just going back and forth, man, and it was mostly just because we were like, okay, are they gonna like this or should we put this out?
Mhm.
Like even the long intro for it.
Yes,
We
for I
were
Love, yeah.
yeah, we weren't sure if we should put it out, but we ended up putting it out, man, and a lot of people like it, so glad we did. But
yeah. We
Thank
got
you,
we got
Mighty
a pretty
Mighty.
good reception to it, thank God. But we really debated that, man, whether we should do that or not.
Right, because it's sort of a it's a long intro and the song is like 5 minutes 14 seconds, so it is a longer
yeah,
song.
pretty
Yeah,
long.
Which all your guys' songs are like 5 to 6 minutes. It
they
seems.
are,
Yeah,
man.
we're
Yeah,
working on that.
yeah,
Cartagena, thank you so much, buddy, for that host. And so I totally understand that, and especially coming from a pop-minded way of thinking, because as of lately, I mostly write pop stuff for people. So it's like I come from that mindset. It's like verse, chorus,
yeah, man.
bridge,
Yeah,
3.5
chorus
minutes.
out. Like under 3 minutes or 3 minutes,
Yeah,
3 minutes and 10 seconds max. Just keep that shit moving.
yeah, man.
And so I do, and it's not like that's the only music I don't really even listen to music like that, but I get hired to do things, but
Yeah,
I appreciate music that allows it to breathe, and especially with reggae, it's something that you want to be breathing, something that you want to be a
yeah,
vibe because you're not. It's not like funk or it's not like rock or it's not like it's a vibe that's real chill, but it can be real hype too. It's just such an interesting like reggae really does live in a planet of its own because it can be so hype but still have that real just laid back skank going and I mean
yeah,
then ska is a whole nother thing of it, so
yeah.
which is just hype as fuck anyway. So in any case, um, you know, with that intro, what was some of the problems you were seeing or thinking that might arise by having such a long intro?
Well, with music, I'm sure as you know, man. I mean, there's so much out there. Even on a daily that's dropping.
Yeah.
Most new songs and singles drop on Fridays, right? And I think I saw like I might be wrong, but I think I saw a statistic that like you're competing with like 41,000 other pieces of music that had dropped that day,
Right.
and it's like, man, like so you're hoping that somebody within that first 3 to 5 seconds is you can hook them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Again, we play what we play, but at the same time we know, and that's in the back of our minds too, is
not to get skipped.
not to get skipped,
Yeah.
man. The minute they hear it, it's like slow song, and
Right.
and be done with it. But we trusted it, and we played this song live before we ever wrote it for the studio
Hmm.
and recorded it. And so we his cousin actually came up with the main hook for the song and wrote it out and stuff, and then we kind of built off of that. Actually, the first verse too.
Yeah,
So we kind of played with it and stuff, and then made it our own, and then wrote the second verse, and then we kind of formulated it the way we did. But we always when we played it live, we always had the slow lead up to it, and then crescendos up to the big drop, and then boom, and then we the big horns and whatnot. But we debated whether we were going to cut that off, and even up to when we sent it to Ian,
yeah.
and man, and then we just went with it, and we are like, screw it, let's just do it and see how it comes out. So far, we've had a pretty good reception to it.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I wish we could play it on the podcast and right now, but but Twitch is weird and things are changing, so we're not going to be able to play it
Okay.
during the
No worries.
conversation, or else I'll have to cut it out. But I want to keep this VOD up, so we did play it at the beginning of the show, so but I will be editing that down and deleting that part of the VOD, everybody. So if you are interested, plus you guys, all you gotta do is exclamation point mo, boom, and of course anybody listening in on the audio end, you can go in the show notes and find a link tree to all of Mosaiq's music and their website and all the thing. And of course, in chat, guys, go ahead and click around their link tree and go and follow these guys up and stay up to date with what they're doing because they're doing things.
Yes,
Um,
thank
you know, like with this overthinking thing, you know, because Cartagena said I overthink everything and it's horrible. And I find that too. Outside of music, do you guys find yourself overthinking things, or do you guys have you guys found a balance and sort of like fuck it, let's just make a decision, go and go with it?
I'm definitely an overthinker, man, for sure.
Just in general, it's like, what did
Yeah,
she mean by "I'll meet you at 7"?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
you. Me, I noticed that I'm 48, man. So
Mm.
as you get older, I think when I was in my 30s, I was probably that way, and it started to transit. Now you get older, you're like, I just don't give a fuck.
I'm too tired to give a fuck.
Not that I don't care.
Yeah.
I love humanity and stuff. I have nothing but love for people and stuff.
Yeah.
Not like that, but just
Yeah.
kind of like I just don't have the energy to to put into overthinking everything. It's just like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. See how the chips fall, man. Usually
Yeah.
land on feet. So
Yeah, that's what I'm noticing too as I get older is more like let's let go of the small shit and let's just
yeah, man.
focus on the bigger picture
Right, right.
because focusing on all this small shit is just getting it's just tiring. It's
Yeah,
exhausting.
sweat the small stuff,
Do
man.
you Noel, are you consider do you consider yourself like an introvert, like someone who, you know, likes to be by himself and not around a
Yeah.
bunch of people and stuff?
Yeah, definitely, man. For sure. Yeah, that's. I mean, I grew up that way. You know,
Mhm.
like I'm a lot like my mom. You know, my dad. If you meet my dad, man, that guy is.
Opposite,
Yeah,
Yeah.
one and opposite.
life of the party, man. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a good balance between the two. But yeah, I tend to go more towards like my mom. You know, like
Mhm.
definitely introvert for sure.
What, you know, as a musician, as someone who's out there performing and putting your soul basically out on stage every night, how does that sit with you as someone who's introverted? How do you sort of handle those pressures of performance and because I'm an introvert as well, and you know, like even going out to the bar, and I don't drink anymore, so you know, going to the bar is just I don't go to the bar. You know, I mean, I can do it, but I just don't like it. It's not really my thing. So, how do you balance sort of this introvert personality with a career that's so extroverted? You know, it's so out in the open.
Well, it's. I mean, with music, man, I really get out of that. You know, going on stage, like I love it, man.
Mhm.
You know, it's a different feeling. It lets me like get out of myself,
Mhm.
and express myself, through the music. So it definitely helps, man. It's a form of like therapy for me, So yeah, I love it, man.
How about after the show when you're walking around the crowd? How's that?
It's a little different. After I have a few beers, man, then I kind of open up.
You
But
sort
yeah,
of loosen up a little. It's like now I
yeah,
can relax. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
No, I
yeah,
feel you, man. No, that was for me too. Is like I could go wild on stage and you know
yeah.
be who I really want to be, and then as soon as I'm off stage, it's like all right, let's just make our way out of here. Let's go, let's
So,
go. Pack
you
this
know,
shit up. Let's go.
if you look at the greats, man, I mean, pick any of the real geniuses in music.
Mm,
Um, they're very similar. You know what I
mhm.
mean? The real creative ones, man, they tend to be very introverted
Yeah,
socially, but
yeah,
when they get on stage, man, they're just they Prince, I think, was that way.
yeah,
There's so many examples of that,
for
and
sure.
this dude, you know, is the same way, you know. When it comes to that, he's really socially awkward and just really weird, you know.
Thanks.
But I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, he's not. No, no.
Appreciate that,
But we get tons of confidence on stage, you know.
Noel, is there moments where you're overthinking something and you recognize it and you're like and you try to pull yourself out of that, or are you once you're on to something you fixate on it? Have you ever
Uh,
tried to like change the subject, or do you tend to fixate on stuff? I'm just curious.
Um, I usually like to change the subject. You know,
Hmm.
with music, it's easy, man.
Yeah.
If I'm stuck on it, I'll follow through. But yeah, I try to get out of it. You know, do other things like music, especially. You know,
Yeah.
is a good way to get out of overthinking life and problems and stuff. So that's usually my go-to, man. Is just music, just
Hmm.
create. You
Yeah.
know,
It's the best therapy there is, man.
It
definitely.
really is. It really is. I can't imagine how much more of a bigger mess I would be. It's like I'm already a mess, but like without like any kind of creative outlets or just expression. I don't know where I'd be, man. I think I'd
Yeah,
just be a
Yeah, man.
exactly,
sweaty
man.
creep. I don't.
No, I feel you, man.
I often think about what I would be if I wouldn't have pursued music. I don't know. Have you? What do you guys think you would be if you didn't at least have your foot in music?
I don't know.
Oh shit.
It's a good question.
I don't know, man. Uh, Boy, that would suck. I don't know. There's not
For real, man.
much
That's
else, man. I mean,
yeah.
you know. I don't really freaking know.
Yeah.
What?
I was a cop for almost 10 years,
Oh, a
and
cop.
yeah, yeah, and
Dang.
but you know what, man? I don't regret any of the times that I had. I miss a lot of my bros and sisters, man, that I used to work with. I
Yeah.
really do. But it wasn't for me. You know what I mean? I don't like a lot of seeing a lot of human suffering.
Yeah.
I hate it,
Yeah.
man. And so now I really shy away. So I had tons of that, you know, and
Yeah.
I had my fill, you know.
W-
Probably had my fill after the first few years, to be honest.
I bet
But
I
pay
couldn't
was
imagine.
really good. So,
I couldn't
but
imagine. I couldn't imagine wanting to be a cop now. You
yeah,
know.
it's
Yeah.
tough, man. My brother, who can he's awesome at that, man. He's to me a Superman. You know, he's bad, and he's an investigator.
Oh, cool.
He's close to retirement, you know, and I don't know, man. He never brings it into his home life or whatever. He can flip that switch, man.
Yeah.
Some people can do that. I couldn't, you know,
That's
it
tough.
bothered me.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine, man. I couldn't do that either. To see like you said, just the worst of humanity all the time, and what kind of mental strain that does to people. And you think about, when you think about the cops who are coming, into the academy and have no real idea what they're expecting, and not that I do, I never did that shit, and I
Yeah,
never had the balls to do that or go into the military for that matter. Much love to everyone that's doing
definitely.
those that work, because that is that that is the Lord's work right there. Like
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
it's hard work, man.
patrolling the world, protecting the country, protecting citizens. It's fucked up work, man. It's
Yeah,
crazy, and just having family and friends who've been cops, and you just sort of hear and about their stories. And what do you think about this whole the how cops have been sort of villainized in these past couple of years? What how do you feel about that, Mark? What do you,
you know, personally, I don't like it hits so close to home for me because you know, my brother is one, and I
mm-hmm.
know that he should not be grouped in or labeled with that. I think you have to take things, which people don't do. They generalize a lot now with
Mm.
everything, even you know, and it spills into politics, of course,
Yeah.
and that whole mess. But the
Mm.
thing is, you know, you have to take things on a case by case basis, man. You know, each incident is its own incident. You know, um, I think that both sides have points, and both sides are true. You know, there's obviously, you know, excessive force cases, man, and that are terrible.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, we saw that play out with George Floyd and so many other incidents where that happens. You know, and thank God, because everybody has like a camera now, where a
Absolutely.
lot of that shit can be called to the carpet for that wrongdoing.
Yeah.
So for me, In my perspective, I say when that was out and out murder, and so many other incidents of that, and racism and all those things. That shit's real.
Mm.
It's very real, but it doesn't make it real for every cop that's out there.
Yeah.
And I think most people, I think, get that and they can divide the two, but a lot of people tend to generalize and think all cops, are bad and think that way and stuff, and that's just not the case.
Yeah.
Most of them, they're family men and women, and they go out there and they have a very difficult job to do, man. It's hard. I mean, you go out there and you got to go and stop somebody, in the middle of the night, either in a car or just walking. They know what they're going to do.
Mm.
You don't know as a cop what they're going to do. You can only fucking react to that.
Yeah.
And you want to go home to your kids, man, and to your family. And so you have a split second with which to react to whatever it is that they're doing. And it's a tough job, and until you've done that, it's really hard to speak to that, and people want to second guess everything that they do and stuff like that. And I realize that it's a very high responsibility that they carry, because you have the right to take somebody's, life and liberty away.
Yeah.
You have the authority with which, and that's a heavy burden, man. So I think if, if you go the wrong side of that, if you screw that up, then you're subject to scrutiny, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the ones that abuse that power, I think they should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But by the same token, I think by and large, most cops go out there and they just want it. They're out there and they strap it on every day. It's a thankless job. You get out of your vehicle, and 9 out of 10 people pretty much hate you.
Yeah.
And that sounds extreme, but it's the truth.
No, it's true.
Especially in the climate today.
Yeah.
And it's a very thankless, difficult job, that they have to do. And I don't think a lot of people that are vocal about it really look at things that way.
Yeah.
And but I think for the most people, the folks that I know are very grateful for law enforcement and understand that,
Yeah.
and can appreciate that job that they do, especially for the armed forces as well, man. So super grateful for the service that they do and the freedoms that we enjoy in this country, because somebody's towing that line. It's a big deal, man.
Absolutely. I'm with you 100%, man.
And I think a lot of homage has been paid to them for that. But law enforcement here on the home front, it's hard, man. It's a very difficult time to be a cop right now. With the climate it is.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it just gets very much generalized against them, and I think it's it's, I don't know, that's a tough thing, man, to do that. When everybody has, you got to get up there and put on your uniform every day and go out there and to a group and protect a group of people that either don't trust you, a lot of times for good reason, and they already hate you, without even really knowing you.
Yeah.
So to be able to do that and persevere through that, to feed your family, my hat's off to them.
Yeah. Do you think then, do you think that this trend that's been sort of going around the country in these bigger cities of sort of defunding the police, do you think that's a viable option of going forward to sort of fixing this problem? Or do you think, I don't know if you even think about this, but like, or do you have an idea of what would be a better way forward?
I'm a little ignorant too. I try and stay, neutral with politics.
Yeah, no, I know. And
But
what's shitty is
honest,
that it's turned into politics and it's
yeah,
awful.
man, it shouldn't be. Yeah,
But this stuff is very interesting to me because of where we're at, and with your
yeah.
with your with your
I do
firsthand
have,
experience.
yeah, man. I do have a stance, on again, even with politics. I can hear some valid points on both sides,
Mm,
man. But for me, I take things on a case by case basis. There's
yeah.
some things I agree with here, and there's some other things that I don't agree with here, and I do
Mhm.
have my beliefs with that. I'm kind of ignorant to the whole defunding the police thing
Mhm.
as to what the stance is with that. If it's just as simple as it sounds, I think it's ridiculous.
Mhm.
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
If you don't have a law enforcement there, you're gonna have chaos.
Yeah.
I don't see that working. I could be wrong. I really don't want to get into, not with you, but other people, a debate about it because I'm kind of ignorant to it.
No. I feel it. Well, just to sort of catch you up, it has failed.
Yeah.
and Minneapolis is just voted it down because Minneapolis, obviously, that's where George Floyd was killed, and so there was
Yeah,
a
man.
big
Yeah.
movement, and there has just been a big spike in crime all over the country.
Right.
What do you think about this whole these mandates that are being put on the police officers and first responders in these different cities? How do you feel about that? You see a lot. I mean, I just went to New York City last week and this week. I mean, there's just protests everywhere, and it's interesting because you have BLM, you have Trump supporters, you have cops and firefighters all marching together.
You can't, you can't say, and I will. I don't really give a shit, but you can't really say your opinion anymore without it being scrutinized and paired up with politics. You know, and
I know.
Look at the issues anymore, and I don't see a lot of people. There are some, but a lot of people talk without wearing. I'm wearing my Republican hat. I'm wearing my Democratic hat. You know what I mean? And you can't just speak about the issue. What do you think this is right, or this is bullshit, or whatever?
Yeah.
To me, I prefer to speak to whatever the issue is. Not what having Trump behind it or Biden behind it or whatever, all that other garbage. For me, I understand definitely when going back to the law enforcement thing, the need for change in that department, because definitely there's some atrocities that have happened, and I like that they've been called to the carpet on it and called the light. But in terms of the you're talking about the COVID mandates?
Yeah, the vaccine mandates and the first responders.
I think I understand both sides to that.
Me too. I'm not sitting here taking a side either. I just
I understand the fear with not knowing what you're taking, what you're putting into your body and stuff like that, and having ownership over like what I should be able to do and not lose my job as a result of not wanting to have that. But at the same time, I can also see the other side too, where it's kind of like I know people my age and stuff like that have a lot of kids, have kids and stuff that go to school, and I see a lot of them that have that position, even some that are in law enforcement and that are nurses and stuff like that, and first responder community, that they have kids, man, that go and they you go to school, you have to have a series, like a list this long of vaccines and all these tetanus and chicken pox and all these kind of things that nobody made an issue about. Now it's an issue, and they're saying hey, this particular one I have a problem with. Now I know anybody who views this is going to be like, oh no, but it's because of, and everybody wants to get in a debate about it, but to me it doesn't make a lot of sense. I haven't heard many viable arguments to the contrary that's convinced me to think that makes a lot of sense, man. There's people dying. I know people that have died. My mother-in-law passed away from COVID, and she was a little bit more susceptible to it because she had diabetes. But people live with diabetes for a long time, a full life, decades.
Right.
And it was not but for her getting COVID that she ended up passing away and succumbing to it. And I have a lot of friends. My a longtime friend's little sister just passed away yesterday. Locally here from COVID, and she was young, man, and I think in her late 20s, early 30s, and all I know is that people are dying, from it, and it should be taken seriously. I do understand the personal choice and whatnot, and not having it mandated. It's hard, man. It's one of them tough debates, There's a lot of rights and there's a lot of wrongs. So
well, I think a big problem that I'm seeing, and just from me personally seeing what's going on in New York, you have cops who are on the subway with no mask on, and they're supposed to be masked up, and like what I'm seeing is that people are like the chain of command, and this as being an officer, chain of command is everything.
Right.
What it seems is that a chain of command is breaking down. And that's scary to me because not only is a chain of command breaking down, but like supply lines are breaking down. There's things happening in China right now where we get most of our shit from that are breaking down supply lines. So it's like you have a breakdown of chain of command, you have a breakdown of supplies, you have a breakdown. I mean, society crumbles. And
Right.
so I don't know, like,
You add to that conspiracy theories and all
oh
the other
yeah,
shit flying around, and nobody trusts anybody anymore.
nothing. You
So
can't.
you don't
Yeah.
trust anybody that, of course the government's tainted and they have an agenda and everything else. It's. So you can't trust, what
Yeah.
anybody says, even the scientists that are telling you, this is what you need to do, and this, I don't know, man. So
Yeah.
I guess again, it's kind of wherever you land with it, you land. I do understand people's stance on that.
Yeah.
I myself am vaccinated.
Mm.
I got vaccinated. I wanted to, to
Yeah.
get that. It was my own personal choice.
Yeah.
And
And I think
and
people should. If they want to get vaccinated, you should go and get vaccinated. There's
Yeah,
no reason.
absolutely, man.
They
And
fucking work. Go get vaccinated. If you don't,
yeah, man.
I'm not gonna
And
hate you if you don't.
I don't sweat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not
He
vaccinated.
didn't, and I,
Right.
that's his.
You're vaccinated, so you're not
I
worried.
don't-
You shouldn't be
Yeah.
worried about it. That's what
Yeah,
it's so weird
yeah.
about it, is like, you're vaccinated. Why are you worried about what other people are doing?
Exactly.
Unless if you're vaccinated, you could still get deathly ill.
Right.
That's interesting. But
Yeah.
I caught COVID, man, but my
yeah.
parents are vaccinated. They caught it as well.
Mhm.
My mom actually got it twice.
Yeah.
So while she was vaccinated,
Mhm.
so yeah, I mean,
Yeah, they don't make a great case. They're not really great at persuading people of why they should get it, but I suggest that people get it, especially if you're high risk. Like, or
Yeah.
honestly, go talk to your doctor, because there are adverse effects that are being counted out there. But go talk to your doctor. That's the person you should talk to. The person with the history of your medical life. Like, they know what's good for you. They know where you've been. Go ask them. Go talk to those sons of bitches. Don't listen to me. Don't listen
I
to
don't.
Mosaic. Listen
We
to your
don't fault
doctor.
anybody for getting it or not
Yeah,
getting it,
yeah.
man. You know what I mean?
Wait, but it's so weird that it's turned into that. It's turned into this, like, I hate you, or like you see these
Yeah.
TikTok videos where people are like, I'm not sitting next to this guy because he's unvaccinated, or like, I hope all you unvaxxers die. Like, there's this.
That's the thing.
crazy,
Exactly, man.
bro,
People
yeah.
can't fucking disagree with each other no more. Where? I mean, when has this ever happened? You know what I mean? To this scale. And
Yeah.
it's like, you don't think like I think, then I can't talk.
I'm writing you off.
And families that have broken up over this
yeah,
shit.
exactly.
Fucking.
And I'm
I
like,
can't-
really? You're gonna, that's crazy, man. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
I know each side likes to call each other the sheep, and following like cattle. To
Right.
me, that's, if you're falling into that, and you're allowing these political stances to kind of break you up from your family and friends and your circle, I don't know who wins in that scenario.
Nobody.
Yeah. We've had arguments too, bro. But at the end of the day, it's just like, I mean, who's right?
Yeah.
There's so much fucking deception.
It
in the world.
is everywhere.
You have to have a disagreement and be able to listen to one another. Listen to the other person's side.
Exactly.
And then if you agree to disagree, cool. But I mean, we can still hang. We can still be, family.
Exactly.
We can still be friends. We can still,
of course.
function and whatnot. So
Yeah, man. I'm with
Yeah,
it.
right.
And that's what's so great about the reggae vibes is that's the vibe. It's just like, we could just let's just be one. Let's just
Yeah, man.
let's
Yeah.
just be
Like
one.
music.
By the way, I don't mean to break up the love fest, but you mentioned, mistrust in our scientists, our leading scientists. Did you guys see that they're torturing puppies? They're
Oh my God, no.
Yeah, the Fauci and the NIH in South America are funding beagles, so they put the beagles' heads into these little netted traps, and then they unleash sandflies and let the sandflies eat their heads alive for testing, for science, and to make sure that they don't have to hear the puppies yelp. They cut their vocal cords. So that's what our lead scientist is doing right
Crazy.
now, friends. Friends, family. Our lead scientist is torturing puppies in South America. So
Nuts.
let that rest on your ears. So yeah, man, I'm really digging what you guys are doing, and like I fucking love Ian's sensibility in the studio and like what he does with bands and music and stuff. Our first two albums, Skanks Root Projects, was produced by Ian Young. I'm talking about Ian Young right now, and Roots Musician
man.
Music. What brought you to Ian? How did you guys start linking up with Ian and start working together?
We were always fans of his back when he was still with Tribal Seeds,
Yeah.
and they came through here. The biggest venue used to be here was the Date Shed
Oh, is that gone now?
in Indio. Well, not necessarily gone. There might be a new, a
Oh,
new
it might be new ownership.
regime, I guess, that's
Yeah.
running
Uh-huh.
it. Basically, it was sold. The whole property
Oh,
was
even the polo grounds?
was taken over by all the polo grounds were taken over
Oh.
by Golden Voice now,
Oh,
and waiting to
Jesus.
hear. They're probably going to do some big things,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we're waiting to hear how all that's going to play out, but I would imagine it'll be something,
Yeah. And
Um,
if anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, we're actually talking about the Date Shed was a venue, a small venue next to the Polo Grounds where the festival Coachella takes place every year. So the Polo Grounds is where the concert takes place, and right next door on the grounds is like a restaurant and a bar and like a smaller music venue. So it's a
Yeah,
cool
man.
little spot. So that's what we're talking about, the place where Coachella happens. But
Right,
yeah,
exactly. So
woo.
we met him there backstage,
Mhm.
and we got to talking and stuff, and we were telling him about what we were doing and stuff, and he was like, yeah, man, if you ever, you guys, need some tunes produced, this is what I do, blah blah blah, and then it just kind of started from there.
Oh,
And
that's
then
dope.
when myself and Noel started refining our music and stuff, we gave him a call, we set things up, and we've pretty much been with him ever since.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just dropped our last single with it. We normally recorded there with our first EP. We recorded everything there at Imperial Sound Studios,
Mhm.
and but we this last time, because of COVID and whatnot, he encouraged us to just kind of create our own studio. So that's what we're sitting in right now,
Oh, that's
and
cool.
just sent him the stems.
Uh-huh.
Excuse me, and then he produced that.
Wow.
He mastered and whatnot.
So, how much knowledge did you guys have of recording before you guys started setting up your studio?
Zero.
Zero.
Yeah,
Yay!
Yeah.
Ian's been awesome, man. He's been like our mentor, and he's
Mm.
been
Big
like
time.
helping us out, every step of the way. So that guy has been
Yeah,
he's been amazing, man.
Ian and YouTube.
Yep.
YouTube
Cosmic
University, son.
Academy.
Yeah.
Shouts to Cosmic Academy, man.
And we're still learning, man. It's tough, man.
No, I feel you, man. It's a lifelong pursuit to get a good capture, and let alone like mix and master it to sound beautiful and radio ready,
Right.
or Spotify ready, or whatever. I don't know. Radio ready doesn't even make sense anymore. It's like
Right.
no one cares about the
Especially with
radio.
ours.
Yeah,
People
yeah. I mean, you
think
get
the
your
Yeah.
20-minute
Bohemian
songs.
Rhapsody.
10-minute songs.
But I love that. I love that openness. So what has your experience been then with Ian? Like what what are the big takeaways that you've taken away from working with someone with like, and if anybody doesn't know Ian Young, and Ian Young he was a keyboard player for Tribal Seeds, who's a huge Cali reggae band. They're nationwide. But he's produced a lot of bands like Innovision. He produced ours. He's produced
Yeah.
for
Era.
Josh Heinrichs,
Yeah.
Iatera, right? Didn't he do
Yeah.
theirs?
Yeah.
So he's done a lot in especially in the Cal Roots scene. So what was it? How was your experience, and what were some big takeaways?
Ian, and he has his own band, makes his own. I think he always has done his own solo
Mhm.
stuff, and he does that a lot live now, man. So shouts to Ian
Hell yeah,
and Imperial Sound Band.
Yeah.
Those guys are awesome, man. So you
bad
can catch
boys.
they're touring a lot, man. So, but he that guy really mentored us, man. We that was our first foray into recording was with him, and he helped us a lot. We had our songs. We were pretty tight on our songs. We went in there with a prepared product,
Yeah.
and we went in there and cut an EP. It was back in 2017.
Yeah.
And it came out in 2018, I believe. But yeah, he really he has a ton of experience, man. You can tell
Yeah.
the dude's been doing it for a long time, and he really helped us. He is a master keyboardist, man.
Definitely.
You know, he's known for the melodica, which he's the best in the business at that.
Yeah.
But he is a masterful pianist and keyboardist.
Yeah, and producer. I mean, my God, like I feel like producer is in a category of their own because it's like, I mean, first of all, he can play all the instruments, you know,
Yes.
as
Yeah.
well. So like
Well.
that already makes him, you know, a beast. But then to have an ear to be able to like put together a sound that is legitimately his own. Like he has really found his own space, his own sound.
Yeah.
And like even I mean, like I heard "I Love" and I was like, this sounds like an Ian song. Like I mean, like when I started hearing you guys' music, and then I heard Ian and Innovision on Rootsy Roots, and I was like, this has to be Ian's shit because there's just a certain timbre and a certain tone that he captures that's very warm and very just chill. Like I don't know how to even explain it, but I can hear it. You know, like, I can definitely hear it. Yeah, he definitely has a sound of his own. So, was it easy taking the songs that you guys already had written and sort of working with Ian to put them together for the studio? Was it an easy process, or did you guys learn or did you guys have to like really rearrange and focus and change some stuff around?
I feel like when we went there, we weren't like 100% with our music, you know, with our songs.
Yeah.
And I mean, we could play through them and we performed them a few times, you know, but I feel like they weren't like there yet, you know. And Ian really like made it super easy, and he also played keys on a couple of the tracks, and I think he played a bass line on one of them too, which was dope, man. Yeah, he made it really easy, man. Like he was like the final piece and put all of that together.
Oh, that's cool.
And, yeah, it was awesome.
So you guys had like most ideas sort of mapped out, but the details were sort of fuzzy still. And
Yeah,
and
but
Yeah.
he kind of took what we had. Like I said, we went in there pretty prepared with what we had. You know what I mean? With the raw elements of the song.
Yeah.
We knew them well, and we went in there and we recorded. Our timing was good, everything. But he basically polished it up, man. You know,
Yeah,
and prepped
yeah.
it and made it ready for the recording, you know, process and whatnot. And that was awesome, man. Because I mean, that's what we needed. And,
Yeah.
and that's what a good producer will do. You know?
And that probably helped you guys in going forward in writing and stuff too.
Oh,
huh?
definitely,
Definitely,
man. Yeah,
yes.
this is a big help.
Yes. So now we know a little bit more what he's looking for, what we need to going forward. These next couple songs, we're gonna kind of experiment a little bit. You know, they have a little bit different elements. I mean, a lot of Ian's stuff, he runs the gamut, but it's very roots driven.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Very melodic and stuff like that. And that's primarily been us, but we have some other elements in some of these new songs that you know, have a little bit more of a hip hop feel to them, and we're gonna kind of experiment with some different producers now.
Nice,
So,
nice.
yeah.
I know you were talking about a new video, right? Like you guys you're talking about going out to New York, right? Was that was that?
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're trying to go late December, early
January.
early January.
Oh,
Yeah, to
God.
go out.
Good luck going to New York in January.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I'm not even used to it, man. I'm a desert rat, bro.
Yeah,
so.
dude. I was gonna say Coachella is way different from New York in the winter.
We're in for it. We're hoping to do a lot of it indoors now.
I couldn't imagine. No, we're gonna be recorded outside today, folks. Just dust the snow off the board and go.
We're gonna take a look at it, man. But yeah, hopefully we record it really fast.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because this is gonna be a music video, or this is gonna be a studio time.
No, it's gonna be the video. We're linking up with Jeff Pliskin of Raise Fist Propaganda,
Okay.
and he shoots, man, so many
Raise fist.
big artist videos, you know, and he's actually I think he manages Young Dirty Bastard, Old Dirty Bastard's son from Wu-Tang Clan.
Okay.
He shot some of their videos and stuff,
Oh,
but
dope.
he shot, I want to say, from Slightly Stupid to, you name it, man.
Yeah.
Fortunate Youth, he does a lot of their videos.
Yeah, his gear gets around. Like you see his gear all over the place.
Yeah, we have a shirt.
Yeah,
right
I have a couple shirts that have Raised Fist on.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He does. He's done.
So
our
he's
line of
based in
shirts
New
as
York?
well. He's based in New York. Yeah.
Like in the
So
city or in
I want to
outside
say he's in Long Island,
Long
perhaps.
Island?
I'm not quite sure. We haven't gone there yet, but I
Right.
think he's at Long Island. But dude's
What
awesome. Gets
what
around, man. Comes out here during the summer.
mm, what
So
made you want to work with Jeff and like go to New York instead of just, finding someone local where you're at?
well, we just shot our video. It's going to be coming out for I Love
Mm.
here in Coachella with Christy Love.
Yeah,
Christy
Christy.
Love. I'm sorry,
Christy
Christy
Rose.
Rose. I'm
Christy
sorry.
Rose. Christy Love, baby.
I love. I said I
Yeah.
love Christy.
Yeah.
Christy Rose.
Yeah.
And I
Top
mean,
top
YouTuber, yeah, from Top Shelf
Yeah.
yeah.
and from
It's been
NPR
good.
now, which is awesome, man.
She's on NPR now?
Yeah, no, she does a noteworthy. What is the acronym for?
Oh,
Uh,
yeah. Noteworthy
Yeah.
press.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, yeah, and so she does.
I didn't know you
she's
guys had
doing
an acronym for it already.
no, she's doing our PR as well.
Yeah.
And she came and shot a video for us,
Wow.
and so that's going to be coming out in a couple weeks.
Mhm.
For I Love.
Mhm.
And then, so this one, we had talked with Jeff back. We played a festival in Arizona, the Viva Arizona Fest back. When was that? Around this time last year, or maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And we went out there and we got linked up, and we were introduced to him by a friend of ours, Steve Stoddard, that we have in common.
Yeah, Steve. I know
And
Steve too.
and he linked us up with Jeff, man, and so he was going to shoot a video for us out here, but just with schedules and whatnot, he and I have never been to New York, and we're like, screw it, man, let's go shoot it out there.
That's dope.
And I have an aunt that lives about a little over 2.5 hours away in Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to make a vacation out of it, but
Hey.
I think Jeff is actually a teacher too.
Oh, okay.
So we have to go according to his schedule as well too, man. So we're going to try and link it. We still don't have the exact date we're going to shoot, but hopefully that'll be out by early spring.
Oh
So
yeah,
I'll go
April 2022. Stay tuned for something coming from Viva 100. All right, let's go.
Sweet.
Did Zeke Keeley? Let's go. The oh shit, what was I gonna say? I forgot. That's what chat does to me. I look over at chat, read it, and then I'm just off to the races. I have no idea what we're even talking about. With going out to New York, is there like is there like a certain backdrop that you're hoping to capture, or is there a certain feel or idea that you're trying to pursue with the concept of the video?
We haven't because we're just recording it right now. We haven't fully like storyboarded this one. He shoots kind of a guerrilla style. He has his style that he shoots, and it's kind of the camera's in your face and you're doing whatnot. So there's not too much, and I'm kind of ignorant to it, so I don't want to misspeak, Jeff, if I'm saying that wrong. But from the videos that I've seen, a lot of it's just that dope old school style, man.
Yeah, like in the face, like urban.
Urban,
Yeah.
man, and it's dope, man. He has his a style unto his own, and
Cool.
he's he's one of the top dudes out there, man. So he's we're definitely in amazing company, and we're blessed that he's even shooting it for us. But we haven't fully like storyboarded. Basically, because of what the song is about, we're gonna try and capture some kind of imagery showing, what better place than New York, showing the industrial age and the birth of, what these ideas that came to fruition, and that's again what the song is about. So anything that illustrates that per se, we're probably going to have in the video.
Yeah.
So we'll try and keep the locations to a minimum, but that's kind of our ideas. Having some, there's nothing but amazing backdrops in New York. So
Yeah, for sure.
we'll see what choices we're going to make. But yeah, we haven't storyboarded it yet.
Dude, I don't even know what New York's gonna be by the time you guys get out there.
Oh, it's going to be white, I think. Very, very white. Very cold.
Yeah, cold, man, cold, and hopefully the citizens of New York are somewhat put together and not like burning everything down. Because god damn it,
Yeah.
I just feel like shit is popping. Honestly, it just feels like New York is running on momentum right now. It's just like people are just honestly, we're going to work because that's what normal is, but nothing's
man.
normal.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything feels fucking weird. like no one's listening to no one. You know, like it's just it's a weird place right now, and
Man.
I think it's cool that you guys are gonna go capture it in this moment in time. You know, like this moment. How was the pandemic for you guys creatively?
It was pretty good, man. I mean, we put
Yeah.
most of our stimulus checks into this right
This
here.
is
So,
Goddamn right.
studio here.
yeah,
But
that's it, man.
yeah, no, it's been pretty good, considering. But yeah, we built this. We're trying to get new music out, and we're getting all our shit together.
Yeah.
Social media wise and stuff, and we've been really horrible with that stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
Notoriously
so
horrible.
yeah, dude, it's hard, but yeah, I mean we're getting it together, man, slowly but surely.
Were you guys working throughout the whole pandemic, or I know a lot of people were off some of it, but like were you guys like working day jobs or stuff during the pandemic or throughout the
We
most of
we
it?
both we both got laid off. I got laid off from my job. So I take I took some side jobs and stuff like that. I do some drywall,
Nice.
finish work and stuff like that. So I've done that. But for the most part, we just took that time to write.
Yeah.
We have enough for a full length album, but we're kind of just dropping singles and stuff like that. So we use the majority of the time to do this, make our boom boom room here with our stimulus checks, and then to write our music.
Yeah, yeah. So is that the strategy then? You guys are looking more into just releasing singles as we go, or are you guys? I know you guys mentioned an EP, but like, why not a full length drop rather than the single drops?
Oh, at some point we may do that collectively. We have a lot of music, man,
Mm.
but we want to just keep putting content out there, and kind of stay relevant. So where we every few months we want to be dropping a single, and then once we get maybe sometime midpoint next year we might be looking at putting together a full length album and include some of those singles on that track on that album rather.
Right on. Are you guys are you guys hitting the road at all? Are you guys gonna be playing outside of Coachella at all?
We're planning on it, man. Come like early next year. Yeah, that's what we're planning on doing, like going on a little mini tour, I guess, to get out there and play. We really want to get out of the valley. We love it here. We got our fan base here, but we're really trying to connect with everybody outside of the valley. It's
Sure.
build it up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
we're starting to book some dates. The beauty is we're 2 hours away in any direction from LA. We're 2 hours away from San Diego, the huge markets, OC.
Yeah.
And so
San
we're starting
Francisco is not
to,
too far.
as
Yeah.
we speak right now, we're starting to book dates in early 2022
Mm.
for some shows at some of the mainstays there, and then hopefully be able to link up and run support for some of the bigger bands before long.
That's the plan.
So
And Zeke Keeley and Mosaic need to fucking do a co-headlining tour.
yeah,
do it.
man.
Let's do
Yeah,
that.
we're ready, man.
Yeah.
Those are our boys, man.
The
And,
Desert Roses meet.
that's it, man. Yeah, those are our homies.
Yeah,
man.
no,
So,
they're cool as fuck. Yeah, we played with them. Where the fuck did we play with them at? We played with them. It's not Ricky's place. It was the place in Phoenix. What's the joint over there? I can't remember. Oh well. Yeah, awesome dudes. Totally fucking awesome.
Yeah.
The so what do you got booked so far? Like what cities are you looking at so far?
well, so we're looking at the holding company in San Diego.
Nice.
Winston's right now.
Nice.
And then they're not inked yet, so we don't have the exact dates.
Mhm.
And then going to be trying to look at like the Mint in LA. Just
nice.
different places we can get in Belly Up. Just different places like that.
Yeah.
And try and go, head up north, wherever really anywhere that we can play.
Yeah.
And we a lot of it we're kind of subject to the schedules of our hired guns, so to speak.
Yeah.
But we have a pretty good rotation of musicians that we can use. We have the guys that we like using. One of our fellas is John
Landry.
Landry. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, from Roots of Mine.
Mm.
He's the lead singer of Roots of Mine.
Oh, cool.
And guy is amazing, man. Great, great musician. He's also a solo artist as well,
Hmm.
and that guy is fantastic, man. So we're very, very happy to have him on board with us for the shows. But again, it's kind of a it's a scheduling thing, and trying to see what fits everybody's schedule because these guys play in other bands as well.
Yeah, totally. No, that's hard, man. That's really hard because that's what I was. I was just a hired gun who'd play and then play with Skanks Roots, but I was with everybody everywhere. So
Yeah, man.
it's hard, man. It's hard to put what has it been hard to find a solid group of guys to play with. I mean, I know Coachella and the Valley, it's big, but like where you guys are at, is there a is there a lot? Is there a big pool of musicians to choose from, or is it kind of
It's
slim
I,
pickings?
it's pretty slim, man.
Yeah,
Especially guys that want to play, reggae and shit like
Yeah.
we do. But yeah, it's kind of tough out here, man. I think three out of the five guys were from out of town. So
yeah, man.
yeah, one being in Phoenix, the other one's in
In LA.
LA.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty tough out here.
Yeah, it's tough out here in the desert, son.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
Jeff, that's Eddie Blunt and Chris Murray. Those two were in High Tide, and Sam. Sam was in High Tide a little bit too. So I'm just answering a question here. Well, gentlemen, I really do appreciate you guys sitting here and chatting it with me. Is there any final words, final thoughts, anything coming up that we should know that we didn't cover? That this is your time to shine, my friends.
Sweet, man. Well, just we're super grateful to you, man, for having
Yeah,
us on.
Of course.
And had a ton of fun, man. We just look for us on our on all our social media. Everything is Mosaic Music or Mosaic Official. At it's our Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah, pretty much everything except for our website.
Our
which is
website,
mosaicmusic.com.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're trying to be more relevant, trying to stay out there, social media wise. So
Mm.
look out for us.
Look out for us. We have all of our music on all the common platforms. We're on
Yeah.
Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, Deezer.
Yeah.
So yeah, look for us. YouTube.
Everywhere.
So look for our newest single is "I Love," and then be on the lookout in a few months, man. We're gonna be dropping "Brainchild" is our next one up. So
Hell yeah. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate your time, and I'll be in touch with you guys, in the next couple of weeks, or
Awesome.
for the audio release. So
sweet,
Cool,
bro.
man.
Bless, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
bless
you, bro.
you, man. Thank you
Appreciate
so
you.
much.
for sure, man. And I hope I see you guys out there on the road or something. I'd
Yeah,
love
man.
to link
Let us
up.
know
bro.
when you want to come and jam, man. Our doors are always open, man.
For sure,
Come
for
down to
sure.
the boom boom room.
Right on, guys. You have a good day.
All
brother.
right, you as well,
Take
man.
All right, peace.
Peace.
All right. Oh, now my shit works. What the fuck? I hate that shit sometimes. I hate it when shit doesn't work and then it decides to work. Okay. So I am gonna. Oh, thank you very much, Mighty Mighty, for those claps. I appreciate it. Thank you guys all for the hosts and stuff. I think we're just gonna go over to Woobies because I have to pee and I have to leave. I have to get out of here. I have to head to Cleveland and go see the Fantastic Plastics. Yay! So let's link and get you guys out. Yeah, most definitely. Jeff, let's do it. Get a hold of Skanky. I know that we would love